Good morning, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Market opens up here in about 8 minutes. Real quick, when I say live, what I mean is that this is not a situation where I'm going to sit here and explain things that have already happened because I've already made the recording. So this is not some sort of post commentary or trade recap. I don't know what's coming next. So that's what I mean by live. I'm recording myself seeing this information for the very first time. So if you want just a nitty gritty, unscripted look into what it's like to be a day trader, how day trading can play out, then this will be a video for you. But in the spirit of honoring your time, if you do want a nicely edited, nicely scripted video, then this won't be for you. But if you just, like I said, want the nitty gritty details of how things can play out and what it looks like to trade without hindsight in your favor and to trade without knowing what's coming next, then this will be a video for you. So I'll go ahead and pause for now and I'll be back at the open. Just to document my thoughts real quick and also to explain and show how the private trading community that I offer works, because that's a very common question I get. So if I can both document my thoughts and then show how things work. What I'm watching is ticker symbol NURO. And for the community right here, just made a note of how on the 2 minute there's a nice pre-market pattern forming right now. So hopefully the price stays down below that red line before the open, although right now the price is actually coming up to it. But I'm not going to take this in the pre-market. But ideally, like I said, if the price can stay below that trend line, maybe I should be buying pre-market, and that's why members of the community, they're free to do whatever they want. So it's not a bunch of sheep, it's a bunch of wolves just working together. So I threw out this pattern, and whether people want to agree with it, disagree with it, how they want to play it, that is totally up to them. But I'm going to choose to just hopefully, hope that it stays below that line before the market opens, which is in about 5 minutes, and then potentially buy a breakout of that trend line. But like I said, that may cause me to miss out on the trade, but that's the way trading goes. Is you don't quite know what's going to happen, but I'd prefer to see it break that trend line. But that is definitely the game plan here going in, and I at least want to get it documented so that you can see how things play out moving forward. Now, normally I don't take trades during the opening minute, but I'm going to make an exception on this one because I really do like that pattern. As of now, let me bring down the chart. You can see that the price is still down below the red line right there. But it'll if I have to take it during that opening minute, it'll definitely be a quicker trade just because, like I said, so much can happen during that opening minute. But definitely got to like the pattern here that's forming. So we've got about a minute and a half before the market opens. So hopefully it can stay below that red line. But we'll see what happens, but that's the current status. All right, market's going to open any second now. Oh, I tried and I missed it. Okay, got in. Oh, well, that's painful. Got in on the back test. And that's why the opening 30 minutes, or opening minute, I should say, is so crazy. But let's see if this thing wants to return back up to 18. Give this a little bit of wiggle room here. I knew I was taking on some risk doing the opening minute. Like I said, let's see if it wants to make another push up to the $18 area. Okay, there we go. And all out there, I'll take it, the $200. Might still keep going, and I'm glad I gave it wiggle room, but that's why I wanted to note that during that opening minute, you got to be willing to give things a little bit more wiggle room. But like I said, with that strong pattern that was formed, now it's going to get halted here. So yeah, in hindsight, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but hey, that's what I said. This is the real world of trading. There's no hindsight here. There's no sitting here and talking with hindsight in favor about how, oh yeah, well, yeah, that's why I did this. No. Like I said, I realize I look stupid right now, but that's just how that's how trading goes sometimes. But I'll take the $200. Glad that I didn't panic out. Especially, like I said, got to understand the context. Opening minute, very volatile. Oh wow, if this thing opens up in $22 after the halt. But again, this is all hindsight. But it'll be we'll see where that opens up. But so there is my first trade of the day, and definitely a wild ride there, but glad that I held steady, glad that I didn't panic out, understood the context, and ultimately worked out just fine. All right, I'm now on my options screen here, so that's why things look different. So maybe some options trading here on Tesla, but want to let this thing play out here a little bit more. Not a whole lot of volume, so certainly more choppy on this one, but I am interested in that 659 area if it wants to come back into play. But yeah, also need to be very careful with it because it is so choppy. But I am now potentially looking to trade some options here, but I'll go ahead and pause. So we're looking back here at NURO, and it's looking like this thing's going to be opening up above $23. And that's why, perfect example earlier, it's not a bunch of sheep. Because if a bunch of sheep, I could see like, Clay, man, why'd you tell us, why'd you scalp out on that? But for the people that said, no, it got the breakout, I held through the volatility, now I want to be rewarded that much more, guess what? They played it better than I did. Now, sure, I alerted them the pattern, but I didn't tell them how to play the pattern. And there's such a big difference between sheep and wolves. Sheep are just like, hey, tell me how to play the pattern. I don't want to think for myself. Wolves say, hey, thanks for the pattern, but I'm going to decide how I want to play it. And the people that decided how they wanted to play it differently than me, they are going to get a huge reward. Huge reward. And that is why I encourage everybody, don't be a sheep. Any community that basically is saying, hey, you don't have to think for yourself, just follow me, avoid. That's not how trading works. That's not sustainable. I realize that's an easy sales pitch. It makes it sound like you have to put in the minimum amount of effort, but you don't want that because we have a great example of that. So I'm kind of trying to stall here while we wait to see where this one opens up. But yeah, overall, I got it right. I alerted the right pattern. I played it right in the sense of I didn't get spooked out. But in hindsight, I totally played it wrong in terms of the trade management and letting the thing, truly pay me. But for other members that decided that they disagreed with how I played it, hey, props to you. And I have no problem admitting you chose right and I chose wrong in this situation. Wow, 24. Where is it going to open up? Well, anyways, I will pause right now and I will show you where it opens up just so you can kind of see the full story of this one. Since you literally saw the pre-market, saw how I played it, and now you're going to see how other members are going to get potentially rewarded. Is it really going to go up over 25? I'm not going to lie. This is painful from my end. Very, very painful. I say that kind of tongue in cheek because I've learned in hindsight, it's always easy to make things painful because it's hard to be the perfect trader in hindsight. But I am actually super excited for people that played it differently than I did. So I'll go ahead and pause and I'll let you know where it opens up. Have an order at nice. Okay. I'm in there for my opening 5 puts here on Tesla. I don't believe in this move. I think it'll pull back, and not that I need the price to crash or anything like that, but any sort of modest pullback will put some gains in my pocket again, in at 850. So we'll see what it wants to do here. Again, don't need a huge pullback at all. Looking like it'll need to at least come down below 661 to give me a chance. So we'll see what it wants to do here. Although it is definitely showing some strength, so I might have to wave the white flag on this one and admit I was wrong. Like I said, I'm not willing to do that quite yet. Like I said, let's see if this thing wants to pull back here a little bit. So you're going to probably need to get down below 661 for me to have a chance. Although at this point, put an order at 865. Because yeah, this one is definitely showing some strength there. All right, well, Looking like I'm probably going to need to take a loss on this one unless it all of a sudden wants to come back down. So all out there for a $325 loss, which now puts me down $125 on the day. So sometimes that happens. Now that's okay with that. It's not like I was up a massive amount and now I gave that back. And now it comes down. Good old hindsight. Granted, I still wouldn't have been in the green or anything like that. But yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. And you just can't risk things. I thought that move was going to, like I said, didn't need it to crash, but at least give me some sort of pullback. And it did start to pull back, but then started to recover back upwards. And at that point, I'm not going to risk much, risk things and let it spin too far out of control. So yeah, from up 200. Oh, and let me give you the update on this one. So NURO. It ultimately opened up right there. Now it's halted once again, but opened up at $24. Crazy. So congratulations to all of you members out there that took part of it. You're clearly doing much better than I am this morning. But yeah, congratulations. That's awesome and great to see. Great to see that. But once again halted, but it did ultimately open up. Let's see, yeah, $24.50. Came down immediately, but let's just call it $23. I mean, even if you got out before the halt right there at 22, that's still $4 more than where it closed at. So let's go back over here to Tesla. And yeah, bummer. Thought that thing would want to roll back over, but now it's looking like I'm glad I got out where I did because this thing is potentially going to be looking a whole lot stronger here. But again, I almost want to try playing it again. Let's see. Just looking at other strike prices up in the options chain, which is not on your screen. So sorry for the awkward silence there. All right, I will go ahead and pause for now. Have an order at 950. Got it. Nice. Quite the move right there. Again, don't need any sort of big bounce at all. Actually, very pleased with that entry point. So much so that I'd like to try to get some down at 850 also. Yeah, let's see some sort of bounce here. Quite the crazy move down to that area. But yeah, I don't like how it's sitting here and hesitating at all. Don't like that one bit. Well, maybe today is just not my day. Can want to give this another chance here to potentially bounce. Oh man, I feel like this is going to just turn right back around though. Let's give this thing a tad bit more wiggle room. I'm going to keep it on a very short leash though here now at this point. See if it does want to ultimately head back up. This thing was trending so nicely. So here I thought I was buying a good healthy little dip right there. But maybe not. Wow. I feel like I should add some more though down here. And I am. All right. So now I have 10 contracts, average of $9. Because I really do feel like this thing wants to bounce. Step one's definitely got to be getting up over 659 though. Let's see what it wants to do. Ah, 658.50. Stubborn area right here. Well, trying to give this thing some leeway, but it's not quite behaving the way I want it to behave. We'll see if this can be some sort of bounce here. But it is just getting really caught up in this area of the chart. Again, 658.50 is that key level now, where if it can break through there, then my attitude changes. But 658.50 is that level that is causing all kinds of concern right now. So at this point, this thing, see, 658.50 does not want to break through. There we go. Now let's see 659. Oh, well, that was very, very short-lived. Come on. And all out there, very nice. Glad I added. Had a well-defined stop loss there. So this thing was either going to bounce or not bounce. It did get the bounce. So played today. Well, let's just, oh my. All right, well, before I forget to bring it up, look at NURO. Now this thing is halted up here at $30. Wow, congratulations, members. Fantastic. Good for you. So moral of the story today, fantastic, awesome day for members. Me, not so much. A total grind, but I will be grateful. I'm walking away with $30, but after commissions, let's just call it $115-ish in my pocket. And I'm going to be very grateful for that because with Tesla, I mean, I played it right, especially that second one. I added more. Due to the fact of I did have a well-defined, risk area that I could, use as a stop. And it was a position of, I feel like it's highly likely to bounce. And it did bounce. And I took my profits, and that's what kept it a highly likely trade. It may not have bounced, and if it did, then, well, yeah, it would have been a losing trade and a bigger losing trade. Nothing catastrophic, but yeah, bigger. However, you got to play the odds. You got to understand the context. So in understanding the context, I added due to the fact I had a well-defined area for a stop loss. And then it was just a question of, can it bounce? And if it did bounce, I was going to be able to walk away with some profits, and I did, which put me back into the green. But yeah, not nearly as clean as some days. I mean, it's 10:45, and I'm usually trying to be done by 10 a.m., 30 minutes at most. And sometimes I'm done very, very quickly. But today, yeah, I went over by 15 minutes, and it is what it is. But I got to wrap things up. I'm clearly not quite with it. And I don't know, maybe, I don't think it is, but maybe that NURO trade is kind of is toying with my mind in the sense of, holy smokes, Clay, you just left so much on the table. And your members are making so much money right now, but you're not. And I don't know, maybe, I don't think it is, but the human mind can be a very tricky place. So maybe that's kind of leeching its way in, and playing some mind games with me here. And then real quick before I go, if you are interested in getting the alerts that you saw right here, then you can just go to claytrader.com/team and you can get more information right there. The basic package is $99, not per month, per 3 months. So if you do the math, it breaks down to $8.25 per week. So as I always say, no guarantees, but I am very, very confident the service will be able to provide you with at least $8.25 per week of value. So I'm confident in that. But like I said, if you're interested in learning more or getting signed up to get those alerts that you literally saw play out real time right before your very eyes, then you can go there and sign up for that. And then as far as these videos, these live trade videos are concerned, they're not the easiest to make because they are live. I have to think for myself. I have to think what I'm going to say to you. I have to talk to you. I have to think about alerts to make. I have to type up those alerts. So there is a whole lot going on. They're totally doable, but I just want to make sure that, these videos remain popular and that they're worth my time. So if you enjoy these, if you find, benefit in these videos, then please communicate that to me by just hitting the like button and then just leave a simple comment below, even if it's a thumbs up emoji. But those two things, hitting the like button, leaving a comment down below, communicate to me that these live trade videos are worth it. And I really do appreciate that. And again, if you're interested in, learning more and getting signed up and joining the community, then claytrader.com/team, you can go there and learn a lot more. But thanks for hanging out. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.